So I'm gonna have me a half tea, half lemonade, Arnold Palmer lemonade. Gonna put it inside my big old Yeti mug. This is my 32-ounce Yeti mug. So yeah, I dig it. One time, one time I left this in the car and had ice and a Coke in it, and it had been sitting in the heated car while I was shopping around Dick's Sporting Goods. When I jumped back in the car, it kept it nice and cold. So I can't say enough about these Yeti 32-ounce ramblers. Really, really cool. I'm gonna pour me some half tea, half lemonade here. And then I got me a just heated me up a grilled chicken sandwich. Got me a veggie tray. Got some chips, and got me some dark chocolate. So and I also got me a little bit of avocado dip. But yeah, I can't say enough about my 32-ounce rambler. Really dig it. So welcome to the Lone Wolf Bushcrafts Travels Morning Live. And hope you guys and gals are all doing well out there. In case some of you are meeting me for the first time, my name is JR, aka Lone Wolf's Bushcraft Travels channel. And I host the Lone Wolf's Bushcraft Travels channel. And most recently, I just got back from Lima, Peru, which was amazing. And my wife's family's from Lima, Peru, South America, and had a really good time. And so that's some of the things you'll see on this channel is travel vlogs. Occasionally I sprinkle a little bit of bushcraft in there. And then there's a little bit of camping in there as well. So got a little camping going on. I'm actually hoping to pick up some more Yeti products. So this video is not sponsored by Yeti. I just really enjoy their products. So that's some of the things you'll see me share on my channel because I like to go camping. I like to do bushcrafting, and occasionally you'll see me do food vlogs too. That's really good. So I got camping, bushcrafting, food vlogs, and travel vlogs. And most recently, I've been throwing up some travel vlog material on my channel. But yeah. It was really cool. Of course, it was expensive only because I picked a Delta airline flight that flew from, went from Indianapolis to Charlotte, and then directly from Charlotte all the way to Peru. So that was the expensive part. So yeah, so since it was more of a direct flight, I ended up paying more money for the Delta. I actually enjoyed my time flying with Delta to school. The other reason it was more expensive was the seats that we chose were, it was a set of seats that were not too far from the emergency door, or it was right next to the emergency door. and those they charge you extra money for those because those are extra leg room. So is so the Lima Peru flight was more of a direct flight. It only had one stop and then a direct over to Lima Peru. And then the seats we chose were extra legroom seats because they were right next to the emergency door. So, but I did enjoy my time with Delta. I love the services provided by Delta Airlines. It's pretty awesome. And I might have flown Delta a long time ago and just forgot. But this most recent trip with Delta Airlines was really, really, really awesome. But like I said, we paid more money because there was only one layover, and from that, like I said, from Indianapolis to Charlotte, and then from Charlotte all the way to Peru. But I loved that we did that because on previous trips to Peru, I would do like two or three more stops, then fly over. Where this was fly to one destination, and from that destination go all the way to Peru. So, um, yeah, I could have saved more money, but this time me and my family really wanted to do a more direct path flight to Lima, Peru. And extra money paid for the extra leg room was worth it, especially when from Charlotte to Peru, 5 hour flight. So, yeah, uh, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's worth the money, especially if you're on a really long 5 hour flight. Now, there were times I have traveled to Peru and I didn't buy the extra seats with extra leg room. There's nothing wrong with that. And there are times I've picked travel times where I've not, I've had more stops before going to my final destination. So there's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's not in your budget to do so. So that's totally fine. But this time it was in my budget to have only one stop and also buy one seat to have more leg room. I was able to, yeah, I was able to swing it this time. And I really enjoyed it. So I guess you could say it could be getting spoiled, and then I'll always want to keep doing that. So what's so funny is, um, what was really interesting about this trip, we were going. Uh, so we started this trip towards the end of May. So we left during the end of May, and it was almost 3 weeks in Peru. And what was so neat, just a few weeks ago, I was in Peru, and it was their fall time, and they had unusual temperatures. They were they were experiencing unusual warm temperatures in Peru, and so I got to swim in the ocean, especially the last few days I spent in San Bertolo Beach. And because of the unusual temperatures there in the ocean, I was able to go for a swim. And while I was in San Bertolo Beach in Peru, since they had unusually warm temperatures for their fall, I got to hang out in shorts and a t-shirt the whole time I was in San Bertolo. It was really cool. There was a few times in the evening time when we went out in the evening in San Bertolo Beach where I had a sweatshirt on. Um, and I ended up having to take that sweatshirt off. I actually got too warm. So But like I said, my relatives in Peru were saying it was unusually warm for their fall. Most times I'm in Peru towards the end of December. And the reason I like going there is because in late in December, it's the start of their summer. So, but yeah, it was really interesting. Uh, but I also was glad there were unusual temperatures for the fall there. Because then I got to hang out in t-shirt and shorts all the time, so that was cool. But but yeah, it was a trip being there this towards the end of May because normally I would have been in Mexico during this time, but instead I was in Peru, South America, so that was cool. Most of my travels to Peru, South America usually happen in December because I usually like hitting Peru when it's the start of their summer, and it's a fun way to spend Christmas and New Year's in Peru. It's fun. I usually have a really good time. Sorry, guys, I'm hungry. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to hit Peru in December. Obviously, if I do, I'll be sharing it with you guys and gals, especially if I go to Peru in December. So that's a wait and see kind of thing. I'll let you know though as soon as we'll celebrate that. Yeah, this traveling to Peru in the middle of the year was a surprise to me. So my wife went up to me literally and goes, "Hey, how do you feel about going to my mom's 88th birthday?" I love my mother-in-law. She's really cool. I said, "Sure, we can go. That's cool." So I had to hurry up and put in my leave for work. Um, what's really wild is I didn't think we were going to do any traveling in the middle of the year. So I'd actually taken some extra time off. So now I'm not going to do that anymore because I never know when we're going to get surprised and go on a trip. So, but my family knows I love to travel, so that's cool. And I may have said this on another live, or I may have said this on a video. I was putting off going to Europe. I was going to wait till I retired. I mean, I'm not close to retirement right now, but I wasn't going to go to Europe until I retired, right? A buddy of mine's daughter, I want to say about 9 or 10 years ago, had a wedding in Germany, and we got to go to this wedding in Germany that they had at a castle. So it was pretty cool. And so we attended the wedding in Germany. This was about 10 years ago. And my wife and daughter talked me into renting a car and driving all over Europe after the wedding was over. So we got to go to the northern part of France, the northern part of Italy. We got to go to Austria, Switzerland, and we had such a good time in both Germany, France, and Italy, and driving around in the car. And we got to drive on the German autobahn. That was really neat. Um, I really wanted to go around by train. And what I didn't know, I didn't find this out until after I came back from the Europe trip. A buddy of mine told me about this pass you can buy for the train, but they're not the bullet train. They're just another kind of train, but they're still pretty fast. But you can buy this pass and you just tell them where you want to go all around Europe. You just pay one time and you just keep using this pass the whole time you're you're taking the train. At that time that I was in Europe, I did not know about that pass. And I wish I had because I have this romance about riding on trains, which is really cool. Uh, I think train travel is really cool, especially if they have beautiful windows on the train. Or like I think one of my trips to Cusco, I was on this train that had it was this box car that had these huge windows. There basically was no. It seemed like all the windows were on the side and on the top. This is when I was in Cusco, and having that experience made me really fall in love with doing trips on trains. And but this trip I'm talking about that I was in Europe and Germany after attending a wedding, instead of doing the train thing, we rented a car from Hertz Car, I believe, and we drove around Europe. So that was cool. We did that after the wedding. But what I learned from that trip is maybe it's not a good idea to put off things till you retire to do your travel. You're not always going to guarantee that you're going to, one, you're not always going to guarantee that you're going to get old anyway. And two, you don't even know if you're going to have the energy to travel when you retire. So I'm trying to do all my traveling right now while while I'm young, while I have the energy. And, some people save their money to buy all kinds of gears and toys and all kinds of stuff. And I try to save my money. I do try to still save my money to buy gear and stuff like that. But part of the reason I love budgeting with my wife is we're really budgeting so we can go on more travel trips. And like I said, people spend their money on all kinds of things. But what's really wild is normally when I buy something, I'll give you an example. One time I wanted this black leather jacket. I just really, really wanted it. It was a Wilson's leather jacket. And then I finally saved up the money, bought this leather jacket. And in about a year's time, the it's still a nice leather jacket. I still wear it. It still looks like the day that I bought it because I take really good care of my stuff. But what I learned from that buying that black leather jacket, I couldn't believe I wanted it so bad, and then I got it, and then like the newness worn off after having it for a year. Anyways, I don't really remember the stuff I buy. I bought all kinds of games, I bought all kinds of music. But anyways, I notice when I do stuff like events, like me and my daughter and wife sometimes have gone to Broadway stuff, or we've gone to musicals, or stuff that's involved in a live show, or we'll watch live theater while we're eating at beef and boards. And so I remember those things more because they're more like events. And same for my travels. I practically remember every time I've gone traveling. And so you're building these memories. And at least for me, I like to save my money for that. So, um, but I don't know, man. Once you go traveling, or once you've been traveling or have enjoyed it, I mean, I don't know if all people have the same experience, but I just really remember those instances of traveling with my family. So, but like I said, I'm trying to do that now instead of wait till later. And the Germany trip really spurred that about 10 years ago because I actually was putting off traveling. And I thought to myself I was going to travel another day. But yeah, I'm trying to do my traveling right now, only because I don't know what the future holds down the road. Um, so yeah, I try to really work hard at my day job. Um, yeah, I try to really work hard at my day job. Of course, I'm doing this whenever I hit the travel road, and I love sharing with you guys about my travels. So next year or in this year, because who knows, my wife may surprise me with another travel. Um, but normally we do look at traveling to Peru in December. And as far as Mexico travel, we usually they leave that for the middle of the year when we travel to Mexico. And I've been to some pretty nice places in Mexico. The very first place I went to when I was in Mexico, I traveled to Cancun, Mexico, which was really awesome. So I've been to Cancun, Mexico. I've been to Playa de Carmen, Mexico. I've been to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and I've been to Sayulita, Mexico. And one time I did a 2 week trip in Mexico where I stayed on an all inclusive resort not too far from Sayulita. But, anyways, I stayed at an all inclusive resort for 1 week. And then the second week, we rented an Airbnb in Sayulita, Mexico, which was really cool. Uh, so once we here's the town of Sayulita, and then once we went up the hill, there was our place, our Airbnb place. It was nice. It had its own little pool. There were several different apartments stacked on top of each other. I think we were on the second floor, and that was a pretty cool Airbnb because we weren't too far from the action. We were just up the hill, and we were far enough up the hill not to really hear all the noise and bustling that was happening in Sayulita. But then when we were ready for the noise and bustling of Sayulita, we would just walk down the hill and be right there in the hubbub of Sayulita, Mexico. So yeah, um, but yeah, this year I've already, like I said a few weeks ago, I've already been in Lima, Peru, South America. But I am hoping to go back to Peru in December, or maybe towards the end of December. So I might be, yeah, I might be in Peru towards the end of December, maybe splash a little bit into January. And then in the middle of next year, I'm not sure which part of Mexico I may go back to. I love hanging out in the southern part of Mexico so far. That's usually been my, so yeah, that's usually been how I travel in different parts of Mexico in the middle of the year. And then leaving Peru I normally leave Peru at the end of the year. So this year I've skipped Mexico. I mean, I was in Mexico last year, but in the middle of the year for this year, I went to Peru, which was a few weeks ago, which is wild. So, but I love going. I mean, I love going to Mexico too. Um, so far, all the Airbnbs had awesome restaurants and supermarkets to go to. And then most of every time I've done an all inclusive hotel and an all inclusive resort, anytime I've done an all inclusive resort in Mexico, the food's usually really good. They usually do the food right, and but the Airbnb one was okay because we got to hit the local restaurants there in Sayulita, so that was cool. But the Peru trip that I just took a few weeks ago was really awesome. Had some awesome, had some really awesome fresh ceviche. In case you guys aren't familiar with ceviche, it's a dish simmered in lemon and lime sauce. And if you love seafood, I definitely recommend ordering ceviche when you're in Peru. It's fresh seafood. It's really good. And then if you love steak, you probably want to order lomo sentado, which is a steak and rice dish. And then if you love chicken, you'd order a arroz con pollo, which is chicken and rice. And I've had fried conejo, which is rabbit. Fried rabbit's really good. I actually enjoyed fried rabbit. Uh, it was really good. Um, my wife's aunt's the one that fixed us conejo. It was fried pieces of rabbit. It was really, really good. Really good. But yeah, I'm excited to see what travels I'm gonna do towards the end of December and into next year. I'm getting excited about that. And like I said previously in this live, I'm really trying to do my travel now. I'm not trying to wait to someday down the road. Um, you know, I just can't predict the future. So, um, so yeah, if you're lucky enough to have money saved up to do some traveling and you've been putting it off, I mean, do your homework to wherever you travel to first. So, in my case, I'm pretty lucky. I've traveled often enough to Mexico, especially the southern part of Mexico. Now, if I ever traveled to the northern part, which I've never have, I'd really have to do my homework myself. But I haven't done that because I've really fallen in love with the southern part of Mexico. So that might not change. Once me and my family really like something, which we have fallen in love with the southern part of Mexico. Um, that's why it's so important. Places have such a pressure to make a good first impression. Like all all these all-inclusive resorts. What I love about the idea of the all-inclusive resort is you pay this one thing for your vacation, you know, this one-time thing, and so you know how much your vacation's going to cost, and it's awesome because all the food and drinks are included, so it's really cool. So that's what I dig about the all-inclusive. Now, when I rent an Airbnb and I'm not doing the all-inclusive thing, uh, you go to the supermarket so you can make a few meals yourself, and then also you're hitting the local restaurants there in Sayulita. So that's a lot of fun. But yeah, both. Oh, and now the cool thing about renting an Airbnb, you usually got a bigger place. You usually got a few bedrooms. You usually got a living room. You usually got a kitchen. So that's kind of cool. That's the plus size Airbnbs. And then you're usually checking out the local cuisine, especially if you rent an Airbnb. So that's kind of cool. But I love both. I love the all inclusive resorts, which has all your food and drink. And it was so funny towards the end of one of my resort stays. Um, I'm not a super drinker, but they will make you they will make you mix drinks around the clock. And towards the end of my trip, I was asking them to not put alcohol in some of my drinks, and at first they thought I was joking. They were like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, you don't have to put alcohol in that." Um, so that's pretty funny. But I've had a good time doing both. So it doesn't matter whether I do the all-inclusive resort or whether I rent an Airbnb. I usually do my homework for whatever area that I'm traveling to. And then now, what's neat about Playa de Carmen, Mexico, I've stayed at the same small all-inclusive resort for. So both times I've been to Playa de Carmen, Mexico, I've stayed at the place called the Reef, and it's a smaller resort. And I kind of felt like I got more personal service at the Reef. So I think it's really hard for my wife to select any other kind because she really likes the personal service she receives at the Reef. So that's why we both picked the Reef Playa de Carmen. So obviously, my wife's really good at the price point too. So it's more than likely it was probably a really good price point, and it was probably a really good package they were offering at the Reef. So that could be the reason that we hit the Reef the second time. So um, now the first time we went, they were kind of fixing things up, so I heard a little bit of construction going on. But the second time, all the construction was done, and it was a lot quieter, and so that was cool. So, but yeah, regardless of whether you pick an all-inclusive resort that covers everything, or regardless of whether you rent an Airbnb, you really got to do your homework. I also had a nice time running an Airbnb in Cape Town, South Africa. Me and my wife, uh, it was really cool. We rented an Airbnb in Cape Town, South Africa, and that was really nice. It was like it was two levels. Your first level was the living room and kitchen, and then your second uh, level was your three different areas to sleep upstairs. So that was kind of nice. And the neat thing about the Cape Town Airbnb, when I went all the way down to the first floor, I could literally walk out to the ocean. So the Cape Town Airbnb was really really cool. We only stayed in Cape Town for 1 week. Uh, my daughter was studying abroad at the time, and she talked us into coming to Cape Town, South Africa. And she had already been there a month, so she was going to study there for a while. And she had a week long break, and she's like, "Hey, when are you guys ever going to ever visit Cape Town, South Africa? Why don't you come and chill out with me for a week?" And we did, and that was pretty awesome. That Cape Town, South Africa trip was awesome. And I also that's on my playlist. So if you want to see what kind of time I had in Cape Town, South Africa, uh, when you're looking at my YouTube channel, go to my Cape Town, South Africa playlist, and you can watch all the Cape Town, South Africa things I did. I think one of the videos I did that's on the playlist is I'm showing the Airbnb a little bit that I'm chilling out in Cape Town, South Africa. So make sure you check out that video. So that's pretty cool. But so yeah, like I said, regardless of whether you do the all-inclusive resort, those are really cool, or rent an Airbnb, as long as you do your homework of the area. Uh, um, but yeah, Cape Town, South Africa trip, that was like a once in a lifetime. On It's on some people's bucket list, so that's kind of cool. That was a really awesome trip, and I'm glad I made videos so you guys can check it out on my playlist there. So so part of your homework you could do is you can look at my playlist from Mexico and see the good times I had in Mexico, and you also can check out my Lima, Peru playlist as well. So you can check out those videos as well. So those are cool. So most of my travels I've put on playlists on my channel that you guys can go check out. They're pretty cool. And of course, like I said, I love making travel vlog videos for you guys. Absolutely love it. And I may have said this on other videos and also on other live streams, but I really do like making travel vlog videos for you guys. One, because I know I'm about to go on an adventure, and two, uh, not only am I sharing these memories with you guys, but it's memories I can look back on years later. You know, God forbid if I forget, which are real. Right now, I'm not forgetting anything I've done on my adventures, but who knows? When we get really, really up in age, we can go check those out and go, "Wow, I really had a good time." But I'm also on this platform because a lot of people watch YouTube. So that's the other reason I'm sticking with the YouTube platform. It reaches out to a large audience, and I'm grateful for my audience that watches my channel and watches my videos. I appreciate you guys. You guys rock. I appreciate my subscribers who've been with me a really long time. Much appreciated. And then I also appreciate my new subscribers who just joined the Lone Wolf Bushcraft Travels channel here. So that's pretty cool. But I absolutely love it. But yeah, definitely when new adventures come up, I'll definitely share it with you guys. Particularly if I'm getting ready to go fly somewhere, I'll definitely let you guys know where I'm heading to. So, anyways, uh, thank you guys for hanging out with me here on this live stream, and also thanks for those of you who will end up rewatching this live stream. So yeah, I hope you guys and gals. Oh, and also I hope you have a happy Fourth of July weekend. Uh, uh, I'm off this Monday. I'm usually always off on Mondays, but I'm gonna go chill with friends and family and watch some fireworks. And but I've been hearing all weekend. Uh, I got some other viewers that are not from the states. Anyways, this is Fourth of July weekend. I've been hearing fireworks go off on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm about to go watch some more fireworks on here on Monday night. But yeah, for all of my audience that's outside the United States, America is celebrating their Independence Day, which is the 4th of July. So happy Independence Day to all my brothers and sisters out there. Hope you celebrate the 4th of July this weekend very safely. And happy 4th of July, America. Happy 4th of July. I hope all the oh, and then happy 4th of July to those who were sworn in as new American citizens. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Welcome. So, anyways, I hope you guys and gals are all doing well out there. Like I said, please stay safe, all of you who are celebrating this 4th of July weekend. And happy 4th of July to all of you out there. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Take care. Cheers. Later, Gators. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll either see you in the next live stream or I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Talk to you later. Later, Gators.